Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a title contender in the NBA. But over the course of the last 12 weeks, one of those can certainly be created, and the LA Clippers are emphatically proving everyone wrong and showing to everyone that it's possible. Now, at this very moment, under the guidance of Ty Lue, the Clippers are orchestrating a clinic in the Western Conference on the virtues of patience, personal sacrifice, and of course, trusting the process. Because as we all know, since this Kawhi and PG era has begun in LA, it's been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. And this year, they look like one of the strongest teams in the Western Conference, led by a guy in Kawhi Leonard, who's one of the most prolific playoff performers that we've ever seen. James Harden added to this team, Russell Westbrook leading the charge off the bench. And this team has finally got some real moxie behind them that can see them go through a deep playoff push in the Western Conference. The missing piece to their championship dreams, it seems to have materialized in the form of rescuing James Harden from his predicament in Philadelphia. Surveying the landscape of the Western Conference, a compelling argument can be made that the Clippers now stand as one of the favorites in this conference. The reigning champions, spearheaded by the NBA's premier individual talent, Nikola Jokic, they may understandably contest this notion. Obviously, I would too. I'm a Nuggets supporter my damn self, so I'll be honest. I would probably say the Nuggets are still the #1 team in the West till they're dethroned. But with that being said, the Clippers have a damn good argument for it, and we're going to talk about that in this video here today. But before we get into it, like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate having you guys here. I love all the bucket getters that come to the channel, stay on the channel, and continue to rock out with us. Now let's talk about the Clippers and their essential turnaround that they've had both this season, but the process to get to this point. And at the end of the day, is it going to be enough to get them over that proverbial hump? Now, we talked about the Denver Nuggets and how they're the premier team in the Western Conference. And I'm one of those guys that when you're the champion until you're dethroned. So I will never say any team in the Western Conference is just definitively better than the Nuggets because they haven't had that opportunity to defend their claim as champions. So it wouldn't be right to say another team is ahead of them. There exists no squad more focused or polished on both ends of the hardwood than the Clippers. The Clippers consistently exhibit the hallmark of every championship caliber team. Versatility and victory, capable of dominating on either side of the court. One evening, they staged a remarkable comeback culminating in a 22-0 run in the fourth quarter. The following night, they asserted their dominance over lesser opponents, leading wire to wire and compelling opposing coaches to concede defeat very early in their games. Alternatively, they can enter hostile territory and dismantle a fellow contender so thoroughly that the final quarter becomes irrelevant. And this is something that they've done year in and year out. I don't even need to name the actual teams because they've done it across the league. Now, this underscores the importance of acquiring an additional star power as early as possible rather than delaying until the trade deadline, mid-level time where people are starting to sign guys for minimums, or just the buyout market as a whole. Undoubtedly, the Clippers would have preferred Harden's presence during the October's training camp because, of course, this is where you build the foundations for your team going forward. And I'll be completely honest, considering their current standing, it's conceivable that they would have secured the top seed and probably by a considerable margin had the trade negotiations not stalled early. Now, let's not forget, when this trade first occurred, a lot of us, including myself, I'm not even gonna act like I wasn't one of them, we were killing this trade. Not necessarily killing the trade, but laughing at the results of the trade. This team, they lost 6 games in a row. They were winless in the Harden era, and a lot of people felt like this team was gonna go downhill very fast. Now me, I didn't think that was gonna exactly happen. I was just praying for it as a Laker fan. You know how that goes. But with that being said, I was making jokes just like everyone else across Twitter and the NBA landscape with regard to this moment in time when this team was not winning any games with Harden at the helm. But since November 14th, they've triumphed 27 of their last 34 games, equivalent to a 60-win pace, and they outscored their opponents by 10.2 points per 100 possessions, excluding garbage time, boasting the league's premier point differential. During this period, they also led the NBA in offensive rating with 124.1, filtering out garbage time possessions, of course, and this figure is nearly 7 points above the league average. This attests to their offensive juggernaut status that we talked about before. Now, additionally, they fulfill a requisite of true contenders by ranking in the top 10 defensively over the 34-game stretch. And since November 24th, when they were garbage, admittedly, LA is tied for the 7th defensive rating with 114, while also standing as the 4th stingiest team in effective field goal percentage allowed with a 53.2%. And one of their most recent dismantling of contenders, which was Boston, where they left fans in complete disbelief during the third quarter, the Clippers limited the Celtics starting lineup to a mere 13 of 55 shooting, 23.6% from the field. This is Boston again. This is a team that loves to shoot the ball and shoots it very well. Prior to this encounter, Boston's most abysmal offensive outing of the season, it came in a lopsided loss to Milwaukee earlier this month, where they only managed 72.5 points per 100 possessions in half-court situations. The Clippers proceeded to stifle Boston to an even greater extent, holding them to a 60.9 offensive rating in the half court, and this set the Celtics' lowest half-court efficiency in any game since 2013. This is a testament to the Clippers' defensive prowess and how good it can really be going forward. The collective tenacity and cohesion, particularly evident in the crisp weak side rotations and floor-shrinking defense against Boston, it showcased the finest defensive stretch of Ty Lue's tenure in LA. I feel like this outcome kind of caught Tyronn Lue off guard, prompting him to commend each member of the coaching staff for their meticulous preparation against Boston's top scorers. It was clear that he didn't do this alone, but it was also clear that this team was really shaping into a real powerhouse. But seeing this Clippers team right now, it kind of reminds me of the Nuggets a few years back before they won the chip. They were a team that showed flashes night in and night out. They were dismantling teams that were very good teams during that time, and they were a piece or two away. Some of the depth wasn't there. Some other areas weren't quite there, but they had their foundation, they had their standard, and they just had to build going forward. And we talk about the Kawhi PG era, how it's a failed era, so to speak, because we see across the street they won a chip during the same LeBron AD era. So comparatively, yes, the Kawhi PG era, it has failed, so to speak. But with that being said, maybe it's a new era. You know what I'm saying? Maybe moving into Intuit Dome helps this team propel into new heights, into something they've never done before, and that's not only being in a finals, but winning a finals as well. Now, notably, because I was mentioning defense, we're going to talk about some of the guys that have stepped up on defense, not just the normal defenders like Kawhi or Paul George. Other guys like James Harden have considerably stepped into a defensive role that we've never seen them step into before. Notably, James Harden's commitment to defense, it stood out to me in recent weeks. Despite his reputation as a defensive liability, though very, very well deserved, he has embraced the challenge of containing opposing ball handlers in pick and roll situations. Off the ball, he remains vigilant, displaying a level of awareness unprecedented in his career, but the biggest thing is that his activity with his feet and his hands moving, creating some confusion for the offensive player he's guarding. Now, perhaps his newfound attention to detail and heightened care, so to speak, stem from the realization that time is running out. This could be Harden's final opportunity to overcome the hurdles in a league characterized by perpetual youth, vitality, and talent, in a league that's only getting younger by the year. With the Clippers maintaining a blistering 60-win pace over the past 2 months, one wonders if this is the most formidable team Harden has been a part of since the 2017 Rockets, who secured that #1 seed with 65 wins. Now, following the Clippers' resounding victory over Boston, because we were talking about that, Harden did suggest to Forbes Sports that LA's potential could surpass that of the 2018 Rockets, who appeared invincible against most teams in the league. And to be honest, I had them beating the Steph and KD-led Warriors, but they did pose a significant challenge, which made it very hard for that Rockets team to go. But while that Rockets team fell short of reaching the grand stage, Harden perceives the current season as another golden opportunity to break through the West, and I think it shows in his play. Now, the Clippers' unforeseen run of good health has also contributed to their success. Kawhi has only missed 4 games, playing in 6 back-to-backs. Paul George has been absent for just 2 games at the time of this video, and Harden, often overlooked for his durability, has appeared in every game since joining the Clippers. Now again, this is at the time of me writing this video, so anything could happen between the time this gets released. But with that being said, their remarkable health has translated into stellar results, with the Leonard George Harden trio boasting a plus 18.9 net rating in the 614 minutes they've shared since November 14th. And this is even including the 0-6 start from these 3. And this tops all other three-man combinations in point differential. Much of their offensive prowess stems from Harden's expertise in the pick and roll and creating for others. Despite a slight decrease in his drives to the paint compared to his tenure with the Sixers, Harden's willingness to distribute has reached unprecedented levels. He's passing out of over half of his drives, and he's evolved into a more selfless facilitator, a transformation that reflects his adaptability and basketball prowess and his IQ just growing as a whole as a player. Now, as the season continues to unfold, the Clippers will have to stay where they're at. There's nothing really that needs to be changed for this team. The only thing that they've really run into the past couple years that has completely halted them has been injuries. And to this point, their stars have had a clean bill of health. We haven't seen PG have any shoulder issues quite yet, because what is it? It's actually March 7th. So the PG shoulder injuries, they normally roll around about this time, if not right now, in a few weeks. So let's keep our fingers crossed that doesn't happen. Kawhi, let's hope no freakish injuries. We don't have no Zaza Pachulias on the court. None of that are there. And I genuinely believe this team can go far. This team can have and cause problems for other teams. Now, when we're talking about the top team in Denver and the Nuggets, I'm gonna tell you this now, Zubac is not enough. They're gonna need a new big. The Clippers are gonna have to replace Zubac. I think Zubac is a good big, a pretty good big, but with regard to being the guy that you need to stop Jokic and or match Jokic, it's not happening. That's not happening, which is why I say I don't know if the Clippers are a bona fide champion. I'm not even comfortable saying they're a contender quite yet. But what I am comfortable with saying is that they're able to go on a deep run, especially if they get lucky with the seeding, depending on who they have to see in the earlier rounds and stuff of that nature, and they can actually make it to the Western Conference Finals. And if you do make it to that point, I think I can guarantee you Kawhi will not let you down. If y'all don't make it to the finals, it's gonna be a very, very tough out with Kawhi involved in that series. But that's all I got for you guys in this one. Let me know what you guys think about the Clippers. What is their ceiling to you guys? That's my question for you guys. What is the Clippers ceiling to you guys? Let me know down below in the comments. If you watch me this far and you're not subscribed still, consider subscribing. Appreciate you guys as always. It's your boy TB with the greatest hoop stories and debates on the tube. And until next time, I am out. Peace.